Going into 2026, Instagram is rolling out updates that are either going to grow your account or completely kill your reach. And I've seen this play out so many times. People ignore these changes and keep posting the exact same way and then wake up wondering why their reach literally dropped by half. Here's the reality. Instagram is pretty much now punishing reposted content and they're rewarding shares and DMs over likes. They are giving users the power to reset their entire feed so the algorithms relearns what they want to see. And if you're not adjusting to your content strategy right now, you're going to lose visibility. So in this video, I'm breaking down what changed, why it matters, and what you need to do so you do not fall behind. And this might sound a little technical, but if you want people to actually see your content in 2026, you need to understand this. And let me explain. I see this every day. Businesses put in hours creating content, posting consistently, trying to do everything right, and still get terrible reach. And the reason is simple. They're optimizing for the wrong signals. And Instagram does not work the same way it did in 2023 or 2024. And if you are relying on organic content to get leads or grow your audience, you need to actually understand what Instagram cares about now. Instagram is only focused on three things: original content, shares, and DMs, and also watch times. And if you're reposting someone else's videos without adding any value, you're literally going to get buried. And if you're also chasing likes and comments instead of shares and saves, you are playing the wrong game. And if your content is too broad, people who reset their feed will never see you again. So here's what I'm covering today: how the ranking logic works in 2026, the 7 biggest shifts you need to know, and a practical strategy you can implement right now. So let's start with the core ranking logic. Instagram has confirmed that every part of the app has its own ranking systems: feed, stories, reels, explores, and they all work differently. For the feed, Instagram looks at whether someone is likely to pause on your post, comment, like, share, or visit your profile. The higher that prediction, the higher you show up on their feed. Reels and Explore put more weight on watch time, completion rate, and early engagement, and whether your content actually leads to follows or profile visits. So here's the takeaway. So the takeaway from this is you need to optimize for depth of interaction and not random reach. Instagram does not care if tens of thousands of people just scroll past you. They actually care if 500 people actually stop, watch, and also engage. And what counts as engagement has changed, like the likes, the comments. They still matter, but they're not the top signals anymore. Share, saves, and DMs are. With that in mind, let's talk about the 7 shifts. So the number one is original content wins and then reposts lose. Instagram announced 4 major updates to support original creators and punished repost accounts. If you repost more than 10 times in 30 days without changing the content, you get removed from recommendations completely. That means no explore, no reels, or no discovery. So basically like a shadow ban. And here's what this actually means for you. If you repost, you must add transformation. Add commentary, edit it, stitch it, and add your own context, like literally make it yours. But ideally, build your strategy around original reels, original carousels, and original photos. I've seen accounts go from 50,000 views to literally 5,000 overnight because they relied on repost. And these are always the meme account or the reaction accounts. So Instagram is now rewarding the people who actually create, not just take stuff and then repost it. So the second shift is shares and DMs are now top tier signals. As mentioned, Instagram confirmed that shares, especially through DMs, are one of the strongest ranking signals. Messaging is becoming the main way content spreads, so it makes sense. So now what you have to do is track shares and not just the likes. Like make content people want to send to a friend. Relatable memes, mini how-to carousels, cheat sheets, strong opinions that make people say that, hey, you need to see this. Shift number 3 is watch time beats everything. Instagram's new ranking system is all about retention. If people watch a reel all the way through, it gets pushed harder. If they leave within 2 seconds, it dies. So here's the data for cold audiences. Reels under 30 seconds do best. For warmer audiences, 30 to 90 seconds can work if retention is strong. Anything over 3 minutes almost, just never gets recommended. So keep within that duration. And your hook and first 3 seconds still just decide everything because that's just illogical and how these algorithms still function. Shift number 4 is you have to win attention again. Instagram now lets users reset their recommendations. They can wipe their entire Explore and Reels history and start fresh. The system rebuilds based on what they interact with in the next 24 to 48 hours. And this is something you've noticed whenever you're scrolling on these platforms as well. So if your content shows up after a reset, it has to win attention again. This is why the niche consistency matters. If you talk about 10 different topics, Instagram will not know who to show you to after a reset. Stay focused on one niche if you can. Shift number 5. Photos are kind of making a comeback. So Instagram is trying to bring photos back into the feed mixed with reels. They're still okay for reach, but carousels are still getting strong saves and shares because it actually does contain some sort of value. So you can try the mix, but I would still stick with carousels if you want to go with the image route. Images in our experience only get shared within the current following, but if it goes out to the explore page, it has a chance to do pretty well. But most of the time, it's pretty much reels. So shift number 6 is teen safety rules affect the reach. If your content targets teens or resembles mature content, expect limits. You have to start expecting limits. So this could be plastic surgeons, this could be a lot of other businesses that are, let's say, not necessarily safe for teens. And Instagram is filtering anything that looks risky. And most brands will not be impacted, but it's just worth knowing. Shift number 7 is trial reels. Now, this is a feature that came out early in 2025 where you can publish reels only to non-followers to test your hooks before posting to your main feed. You can perhaps use these to test maybe like 10 ideas without spamming your audience. So you can just go like berserk on this one. So here's a clean 2026 framework I want to talk about now. So the content mix. 60% original reels that are short, they have a good hook and it's shareable. 10% carousels with, let's say, an educational framework, checklist, or even breakdowns. It has to be valuable. 10% for single images, or again, some personal photo carousels for brand and storytelling. So this could be anything personal or just, like images of yourself someplace. So you could definitely keep that 10% in to keep that human touch in, depending on, of course, all of your content. And 20% for stories and behind the scenes, or even DM prompts, like comment the word XYZ and then we'll send you this. So that type of content. So some of the creative rules we'll still need to follow is hook people in within the first 1 to 3 seconds. Like that's still a wide known fact that is still true. Aim for 50% retention on short reels. Optimize your carousels for saves and shares. And stop posting unedited repost. If you do that for some reason, it's unoriginal. I don't know why you do it, but just do not just repost other people's stuff. It's just not going to do anything. Also for the engagement side, start replying fast to the comments and also the DMs. Tell people to share and save instead of, just always saying comment below. Saves and shares are the new currency. You have to utilize it as best as you can. Ask followers to add you to their favorites so your posts actually show up. And for the testing, you could perhaps still use trial reels to test new hooks and review the last 10 reels for 3-second retentions, watch time, and shares per 1,000 impressions. These are the metrics that actually matter now. So here's a clear plan you can actually, use to start right now. So for the first 2 weeks, audit your last 30 days of content. Look at originality, share rate, and watch time. Weeks 3 to 6, test 3 to 5 trial reels every week and start posting more carousels with real value. Weeks 7 to 12, shift your content mix towards what is working and remove what is not working. Double down on what is gaining traction. If you do not adjust, your reach will drop and Instagram is just rewarding people who are adapting. If you do not adjust, your reach will drop and Instagram is just rewarding people who are adapting. Instagram's algorithm is not necessarily super complicated. Original content, shares and DMs, watch time, consistency, that's pretty much the updates in 2025 going into 2026. Or if you're already watching in 2026, all of this has already happened. Instagram's algorithm is not necessarily super complicated. Just work on original content, shares and DMs, watch time, and consistency. That's it. You're not necessarily competing on a volume anymore. Depending on where you are, of course, you still need to be posting consistently. If you're under 20,000 followers, I still recommend any business owners to post at least once a day because you are competing with other people who will, of course, outpost you if you don't do this. But that doesn't necessarily mean you just ignore quality in the interaction. You just ignore the quality side of things. If you optimize for both of those, you will win because especially if the end goal for you is getting more clients, this content strategy will work. And of course, you can just put all of this into steroids if you decide to do some ads as well. And I don't mean necessarily by running some Instagram boost ads. I mean like proper funnels where people come onto your page, maybe like click a link, and then from there, they can actually apply to become a lead or just book a call with you directly. But that's for another video. But this is something we built as well, where you can just use content for credibility and ads for direct leads. And if you want help building a content strategy that actually, works with the 2026 algorithm, just reach out. Like we build systems for service-based businesses that generate leads and not necessarily just, the vanity metrics or likes. So yeah, there's a Calendly link in the description. Just book a call and we will take it from there. And if you found this useful, just hit the like so others can see it and also subscribe for more. And I'll see you in the next one.